Hi everyone, it's great to see you. I'm Natasha from AxelsonAcademy, and I have found yet another owl book to share with you. This one is entitled The Little Owl and the Big Tree. And so you know that this is another one of our stories with our little Salwit owl here, who is so cute, that listens in. And you know, our puppets really help with engagement. A lot of times if we have even a puppet like this, or you could have one that's just a photocopy that students can hold up when the owl is in the scene, it really does help them to pay attention. There once was an owl who lived in a tree. The owl didn't have a name, and of course she didn't. She was a wild animal. Specifically, she was a northern saw-whet owl, the tiniest owl in the eastern United States. She was so tiny, in fact, it's doubtful anybody knew she existed. She slept all day in a hole in the tree and hunted all night. She was alone, she was peaceful. Then one day everything changed. She was woken from her slumber by the sounds of voices and power tools. Suddenly, her tree began to move, creaking and shaking. Now the tree was falling down. It was loaded onto a truck and driven away, with the owl inside her little hole, inside the big bundled tree. The noise of the truck on the highway was unlike anything this owl had ever heard. Hours went by with the rumbling and the noise and the motion. At last, the motion stopped. The noise had changed, strange and new. Honking horns, people shouting, music blaring. The owl was still in her hole, wondering what in the world was going on. Once again, there were voices up close, and just like that, the wrapping was being removed. Finally, the owl came out of her hole, only to find herself face to face with a man. The two of them stared at each other for a while, and when the man realized the owl was not flying away, he reached over and held the owl in his hands. And still the owl didn't fly away. She was tired and hungry. She hadn't eaten in days. The man found a box and placed the owl inside it along with some pine twigs, and still the owl didn't fly away. And she didn't fly away when she was taken in a car by the kind man's wife to a wildlife rescue center. The woman left her alone in a room with some mice, the owl's favorite food. She was a wild animal after all and had to get used to feeding herself again. Meanwhile, her old home, the tree, was now the Christmas tree in New York City's Rockefeller Center. And she, the tiny owl, was famous. She now had a name, Rockefeller. She didn't know anything about that, though. She knew about being an owl. And when she'd regained her strength, she was released near the Wildlife Rescue Center. It wasn't her old home, but at least she was back in the wild. Back in the trees, somewhere out there under the stars. Another viewpoint of the story of Rocky the Rockefeller Christmas tree. Add this one to your collection too. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.